Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Job Change for All. Perfect Villain Life. Chapter 41. The girl's skin was as white as porcelain, her silver hair was scattered around her waist, and her makeup was simple and elegant. She was truly stunning. Her blue eyes were as bright as stars. In the valley, extremely violent energy fluctuations continued to emerge. It was a team of adventurers, about 5 or 6 people, and at this moment they were besieged by a huge number of undead elite monsters. These undead elite monsters were all around level 25, and at first glance, there were hundreds of them. Help! We are members of the Dynasty Guild. If you help us, our Dynasty Guild will definitely reward us generously. We can't hold on any longer. Are you really going to watch us die without helping us? Several adventurers looked anxious. They were all professionals in their 20s. They had originally planned to explore the periphery of the Dead Silence. Unexpectedly, they triggered a trap and were attacked by many undead elite monsters. If there was not an S-level Holy Light Priest in their team who had learned the Light Domain and could reduce the attack power of undead monsters by 50%, they would have been wiped out long ago. But even so, they were already exhausted and could not hold on any longer. However, in despair, they found that there were other human professionals outside the valley. Although this beautiful girl was not high in level, only level 15. But there was a strong man of level 55 beside her. If they could make a move, they would definitely be saved. Miss, do you want to make a move? Next to the beautiful girl, a beautiful middle-aged woman asked respectfully. She was standing next to the girl, with a terrifying aura, a level 55 psychic. If she made a move, one skill could wipe out those undead monsters. Why should we save them? The beautiful girl showed a trace of indifference on her face. They are weak, but they dare to come to the dead land and try to fish in troubled waters. They will naturally bear the consequences now. She looked at the adventure team that was trapped in a desperate situation, with no emotion in her eyes, full of indifference. Besides, the death breath in this space has become so dense that it has reached a critical point. After they die, they can condense another piece of death fragment. In this way, my death sound can be completely activated. This beautiful girl is the eldest daughter of the Qin family, Qin Xian's sister. Qin Li, the middle-aged beautiful woman next to her is her personal housekeeper, Aunt Mo. Seeing that Qin Li had no intention of helping, the adventurer team finally despaired. When the Holy Light Priest's mana was exhausted, the light field disappeared. The hundreds of undead monsters rushed up and drowned and swallowed these adventurers. With the death of these people, the space of this valley began to fluctuate violently. Above the valley, countless death auras gathered and finally condensed into a blood-red crystal core, which was filled with an extremely terrifying death aura. Death fragment epic material. As a dead object condensed by the breath of death, it has the purest death energy. Legend has it that the throne of Hades, the god of the underworld, was made of this object. Qin Li saw the death fragment, and a look of joy appeared on his face, and he took the death fragment directly in his hand. For other professionals, death fragments are extremely dangerous. The death aura on them can infect them into undead zombies. However, for Qin Li, whose profession is the Angel of Death, death fragments are her necessities. The death aura on them is so kind to Qin Li. She can't wait to integrate the death fragments into herself. Death sound God-given skill, emits the death sound, marks all hostile targets within a range of 1500 meters, causes 15,000 magic damage, and has a 20% chance of triggering instant death. And all your skills have a 5% chance of triggering instant death for marked targets. Cooling time, 6 hours. Seeing the death sound fully activated, Qin Li finally smiled. With the death sound, her occupation, the Angel of Death, can be considered complete. Brother once said that he was ready to participate in the God and Demon trial before level 40. Now that I have the death sound, I can help brother. When talking about brother, Qin Li's smile was full of sincerity. Aunt Mo, who was standing by, couldn't help but sigh in her heart when she saw the smile on the girl's face. She knew how hard the young lady worked to help the young master. A casual compliment from the young master could make the young lady happy for a long time. Miss, there is news from the young master that the large-scale copy of Broken Heaven will be opened in 3 days, and the young master has already gone to the Hangzhong area. Brother, hearing the news about Qin Xian, Qin Li's face showed an extremely longing look. Then let's go now. Even if Qin Li was separated from Qin Xian for only 2 months. But for Qin Li, being separated from her brother Qin Xian for a day would make her very painful. Tian Province, Juling Grand Canyon. As a dangerous area marked by the Empire, the Juling Grand Canyon area is full of extremely dangerous monster boss. But it is precisely because of this that the Juling Grand Canyon has attracted many teams to fight the boss. Even though most of the teams died in the Juling Grand Canyon. But the more this is the case, the more teams will go there, one after another, in an endless stream. After all, the wild elite boss in the Juling Grand Canyon will drop good things. Juling Grand Canyon, a plain area in the valley. A dragon-shaped monster is constantly roaring. Its body is extremely huge, more than 20 meters high, and lightning flashes all over its body. Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, rare elite boss. Level LV 30. HP 46,099,999. Skills: Thunderstorm Blood Source, Dragon Breath Spray, Tail Hammer Strike, Cut and Bleed. Introduction: a sub-dragon bloodline, violent, regards everything in front of him as food. Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, the most notorious elite boss in Juling Grand Canyon, has killed at least 800 teams in the mouth of this boss. So much so that people are terrified of dragons. However, the reward for defeating Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog is also very generous. Not only are there various rare materials dropped, but there is even a very rare chance of dropping dragon crystals. And now, in the habitat of Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, a handsome young man is crushing Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog. He is extremely fast, and his body keeps flashing around Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, and then quickly disappears. Every time he flashes, it causes extremely serious injuries to the Devil Tyrannosaurus. Spiking attack, causing physical damage 5,444. Spiking attack, causing physical damage 11,477. Critical hit. Spiking attack, causing physical damage 11,788. Critical hit. In just a few minutes, the health of the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog had dropped by half, and the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog had not even touched the young man. The furious voice of the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog resounded in the valley. What kind of combat power is this? Agility professions should have average damage and rely on various dots and negative states to fight. But his damage is really high, higher than that of strength professions. He is fighting against a level 30 rare elite boss alone, and he seems to be only level 25. What a monster. He basically hits with every strike, and the critical hit rate is at least 80%. It's really amazing. Several professionals stood far away and watched the young man crush the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog alone. They were all around level 20 and were members of the same guild. They had thought that they had all the necessary Tians, and that the tank was a grade A gold shield warrior. They thought that they could see if they could defeat the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog. They also prepared a lot of scrolls and potions for this purpose. As a result, the main tank was directly broken and almost killed instantly when the monster was just opened. At the critical moment, this handsome young man suddenly appeared and started to fight the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog alone, saving their team. 2 minutes later, with the unwilling roar of the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, he fell to the ground. The handsome young man also appeared in front of the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog, without any injuries on his body, not even a bit of dust or wrinkles. Brother, thank you. A strong and honest-looking man in the team walked up with a grateful look on his face. His name is Lu Zhen, the captain of this team, and grade A gold shield warrior. He had learned the skill shield stand before, which could rebound physical damage, so he thought of relying on this skill to try to defeat the Devil Tyrannosaurus Hog. As a result, he was crippled in an instant. If it weren't for this young man's action, his team would have been wiped out. Thinking of this, Lu Zhen was full of gratitude to the young man in front of him. You're welcome. The handsome young man smiled slightly, with a gentle look, and there was no intention of repaying the favor. Other team members also came over, introducing themselves and expressing their gratitude. God, my name is Li Mang, a B-level ranger. My name is Su Yaran, an A-level frost mage, thank you. My name is Meng Meng, a B-level gifted priest, thank you for saving me. The handsome young man nodded one by one and smiled. My name is Yi Zan. Yi Zan, or Yu Yi Zan. Hearing this, Several people were stunned at first, and then they all showed a shocked look on their faces. Xian, during this period of time, is well known in Tian province. Especially in the Jiuling Grand Canyon area. He almost single-handedly challenged all the elite bosses, including a level 35 wyvern. Level 25 challenged a level 35 boss, and jumped 10 levels directly. At this time, the body of the devil Tyrannosaurus Hog also disappeared, replaced by a pile of treasures. Gold coins 169,999. Devil Tyrannosaurus leather, purple material, with the breath of dragon scales, the material for making the devil dragon set. Dragon bone, purple material, can be cast into a staff weapon. Enchantment blueprint, strong system, can increase 30 points of endurance. The devil Tyrannosaurus is indeed a rare elite boss, and it dropped a lot of good things. However, everyone's eyes were on a floating blood red ruby. Dragon crystal, epic material. There is really a dragon crystal. Dragon crystal is an extremely precious material with a wide range of uses. It can be used for forging, enchanting, or opening extremely rare dragon professions. Only dragon vein monsters have a chance to drop it. But even the most powerful real dragon boss has a drop rate of less than 1%. So each dragon crystal is extremely precious, and the market price is at least more than 100 million. And there is no market for it. The devil Tyrannosaurus Hog also has dragon blood in his body, but it is very weak, and the probability of it dropping dragon crystal is only 1 in 10,000. So even if a large guild that needs dragon crystal very much, it will not come to brush this. Unexpectedly, this time the devil Tyrannosaurus Hog actually exploded dragon crystal. 1 in 10,000 probability. Lu Zhen and others looked at Xian with envy. What good luck. Directly get rich overnight. There was no greed on the faces of several people, because although this devil Tyrannosaurus was a monster they opened, if it weren't for Xian, they would have been wiped out long ago. These spoils should also belong to Xian. Besides, with Xian's strength, if they have any thoughts, they will be looking for death. Xian turned around and looked at the dragon crystal, with a look of surprise on his face. The reason why he took action was entirely to save Lu Zhen and others. As for the dragon crystal, it was really a pleasant surprise. In this way, his plan can also be advanced. Xian directly put away the dragon crystal, and then looked at the remaining materials, and said to Lu Zhen and others, "You can take the remaining materials, I don't need them." How can that be? Lu Zhen immediately refused. You killed this demon Tyrannosaurus, everything will be yours. Yes, the other members of the team also echoed. Xian couldn't help but feel warm in his heart when he heard this. At that time, he was used to seeing those professionals who were greedy for benefits. Although this team was not strong, the people were very pure. He shook his head. I really don't need these things. If you don't want them, just leave them here, and they will be taken away by others later. Hearing what Xian said, Lu Zhen and others collected the spoils. Unexpectedly, they also had unexpected gains. Even without the dragon crystal, the remaining spoils were enough to improve the overall strength of their team by 1 stage. After collecting the spoils, several people prepared to leave Jiuling Grand Canyon. Brother Yi, are you going to Hengjiang area to participate in the large-scale dungeon Broken Heaven? In the past few days, the appearance of the large-scale special dungeon Broken Heaven is undoubtedly a hot topic for discussion among all professionals. Xian heard this and nodded. Not bad, what about you? Lu Zhen smiled. We won't go. Meng Meng's level is only 18 now. She got a special dungeon scroll before, which is about to expire. We are going to clear her special dungeon and give her some special professional skills. Pastor Meng Meng showed an embarrassed smile on her face. Several people talked and laughed along the way. Among them, Xian paid much attention to Meng Meng and said a lot to her. Brother Yi, are you attracted to our Meng Meng? Li Meng teased. Then you have good taste. Our Meng Meng is a good cook and very virtuous. Hearing this, Meng Meng's pretty face showed anger. What are you talking about? But even so, she couldn't help but glance at Xian shyly. Obviously, Xian's previous heroic rescue made the girl very fond of him. Xian was stunned, then shook his head and laughed. I just think that Meng Meng and my sister look similar. Hearing this, Meng Meng felt a little disappointed for some reason. Then he couldn't help but say, your sister must be very happy to have a brother like you. But when Yizan heard this, a trace of loneliness appeared on his face. My sister has been separated from me since childhood. Ah, Meng Meng heard this and immediately showed an apologetic look on her face. She apologized. I'm sorry, I mentioned your sad story. It's okay. Yizan smiled, his face full of determination. I have found my sister. Several people comforted him. Then you will be able to reunite with your sister soon. Yizan's smile was a little bitter, things were not that simple. His sister is now in the enemy's house. Several people came to the city closest to Juling Grand Canyon and left their contact lists with each other. This was a reluctant separation. Although it was just a chance encounter, Lu Zhen's team admired and approached Yizan very much. When they parted, Lu Zhen said to Yizan seriously, Brother Yi, you saved our lives. Although we are not strong enough, as long as you need us, we will help you at all costs. Yizan was moved when he heard this. Okay, we have left our contacts anyway, see you later. See you later. The moment Meng Meng stepped into the teleportation array, he suddenly shouted to Yizan, Yizan, after you find your sister, you must come to me, I will cook for you. Looking at the flashing light of the teleportation array, the figures of several people disappeared. Yizan nodded and said firmly, yes, I will, and this day is not far away. Young master. After sending off Lu Zhen's team, Yizan turned and left, and came to a hotel. Entering his room, a middle-aged man in black armor had been waiting for a long time. There was an extremely scary scar on his face, and the whole person gave people a very sharp aura. It was a high-level professional of level 50. Young master. Seeing Yizan, the middle-aged man showed a hint of joy on his face. I saw those news, young master, you have become stronger again. If the master knows about it in the afterlife, he will also be relieved. Thank you, uncle. Yizan nodded to the middle-aged man, obviously respecting him very much. An expectant look appeared on his face. Is it going well? The middle-aged man nodded slowly and said in a deep voice, it's going well. Those major guilds have secretly surrendered. We have collected 8 pieces of dragon crystal. Hearing this, Yizan nodded slowly, and a hint of excitement flashed in his eyes. He was carrying the blood feud of exterminating his family, and he had been dormant for more than 10 years, thinking about revenge all the time. It's just that the enemy is too powerful. So powerful that most of the time, he can only despair and can't see the slightest hope of revenge. But now, the dawn of revenge can finally be seen. Yizan clenched his fists tightly, his eyes full of determination. One day, the Yi family will return to the top of the world. 20 years ago, the Yi family was once a top family that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Qin family in the imperial capital. The head of the Yi family, Yi Busho, is a level 85 dragon knight and a legendary strongman. And the Origin Guild founded by the Yi family has been the largest guild in the empire for thousands of years, and perhaps the largest guild in the human world. There are hundreds of thousands of professionals under his command. There have been several crises on the Void Front, and the Yi family led the Origin Guild to rush to the Void Front and repel the Void's attack. And the Yi family is also the only family in the human world known to the human world that can awaken the dragon profession, except for the Imperial Royal family. It is also the owner of the final chapter of the Apocalypse. The Yi family has always maintained a very good relationship with the royal family. But such a prosperous and huge family was destroyed overnight 18 years ago. Several major clans headed by the Qin family suddenly attacked and besieged the Yi family. Although Yi Busho, the head of the Yi family, is a level 85 dragon rider, and has a level 70 bronze dragon mount. But in front of Qinming and other powerful clans, he gradually fell into a disadvantage. That battle almost tore the sky apart, and several cities were affected and reduced to ruins. In the end, Yi Busho fell, and other high-level Yi family members were all killed in the battle. Hundreds of people from the Yi family were executed by the Qin family that night and died. And the once huge Origin Guild also collapsed. All the resources and territories of the Origin Guild were divided up. Most of the professionals were incorporated into the military and became second-line troops. The rest were divided into numerous small and medium-sized guilds, and divided up by several major families. Because the Origin Guild's assets were so rich, the division alone lasted for 2 years. Yi Zan was the survivor of the Yi family's massacre. His true identity was actually the young master of the Yi family, the eldest son of Yi Busho, and the heir of the Origin Guild. On the night of the Yi family's massacre, he was only 5 years old. He clearly remembered the night when the Yi family was massacred. Because Yi Busho pinned down most of the enemies at that time, he was extremely lucky to escape from the Yi family with the desperate efforts of a guard and the space anchor of the Yi family. And this middle-aged man, Xie Ji, was the guard back then. Qin family. Yi Zan's eyes were low, and his eyes were full of deep hatred. As a witness of the Yi family's massacre, he certainly understood what happened that day. The Yi family. Was betrayed and backstabbed by the rest of the empire's families. That night, Qin Ming led countless Qin family masters, as well as other powerful families, to suddenly attack and besiege the Yi family. The Yi family, caught off guard, suffered heavy losses in an instant. In fear, the Yi family asked for help from other families in the empire. But after the reinforcements of those families arrived, they joined the Qin family's team and joined forces with the Qin family to attack the Yi family together. Yi Busho and Qin Ming fought for several days, but were eventually defeated and died on the spot. After the Yi family was wiped out, Qin Ming, as the ruler of the Cardinal Council, announced that the Yi family had colluded with the Void. After the failure, he attempted to nail the Void anchor point to the empire to welcome the arrival of the Void Terror. Thinking of this, Yi Zan's eyes were full of hatred. What a joke! The Yi family didn't know how many times they led the Origin Guild to rush to the Void front to fight against the Void evil god. But they were slandered as colluding with the Void. These are just excuses used by the Qin family to block the people. Qin Ming's real purpose is to seize the final chapter of the Yi family's apocalypse. The final chapter of the apocalypse is the supreme artifact bestowed by the gods on mankind after the advent of the apocalypse. Thousands of years ago, the Void invaded and the apocalypse came. The 12 people who first awakened their professions at that time were called the 12 firstborns. They all received a final chapter of the apocalypse. Among them, Yingzhu, the founding emperor of the Shenlong Empire, Qin Zheng, the ancestor of the Qin family, and Yi Shu, the ancestor of the Yi family, were among the 12 firstborns. These 12 firstborns can be said to be the pioneers of human evolution. Even the current human data system was created by the 12 firstborns. Each of the 12 final chapters of the apocalypse is engraved with a star palace. They are the Shenlong Palace, the Demon Lion Palace, the Long Snake Palace, the White Tiger Palace, the Jade Phoenix Palace, the Fairy Palace, the Sagittarius Palace, the Libra Palace, the Virgo Palace, the Scorpio Palace, the Gemini Palace, and the Sagittarius Palace. Each final of the apocalypse contains the blessing of the gods and contains extremely huge power. It can even affect the awakened profession through the final of the apocalypse. It is rumored that if you collect all 12 apocalypse final chapters, you can become the master of apocalypse. Among them, the royal Ying family is the Dragon Palace, the first of the 12 apocalypse final chapters. The Qin family is the Demon Lion Palace, and the Yi family is the Long Snake Palace. Thousands of years have passed, and some of the 12 families of the firstborn have declined, some have been destroyed, and many apocalypse final chapters have also disappeared. After the Yi family was exterminated, the Yi family's Long Snake Palace apocalypse final also fell into the hands of the Qin family. Over the years, Yi Zan has never forgotten the hatred of the extermination. Every moment, he lives in pain. 20 years have passed, and the power of the Qin family has become stronger and stronger. Qin Ming is the regent of the Cardinal Council and the second person in the empire. If it comes to power, he is probably on par with the regent of the empire, Liu Ji. And the strength of the Qin family is equally terrifying. After owning 2 apocalypse final chapters, the Qin family has created countless high-level professionals and countless strong men in the past 20 years. Among the 37 provinces of the empire, 12 governors are from the Qin family. Facing such a powerful enemy, Yi Zan had also despaired. But those despairs disappeared after Yi Zan awakened his profession. Because Yi Zan awakened an SS-level hidden profession, Dragon God Apostle. Dragon profession is an extremely rare profession. Dragon profession can use dragon skills, which are extremely powerful. Basically, only the blood of the royal Ying family can awaken the dragon profession. And the Yi family can occasionally awaken the dragon profession. For example, Yi Busho, the last patriarch of the Yi family, is an SS-level dragon profession, the Dragon Knight. But Yi Zan's awakened profession is the Dragon God Apostle. It is the second most powerful profession in the dragon profession. Second only to the SSS-level Dragon God of Yingzhou, the founding emperor of the Shenlong Empire. Name: Yi Zan. Profession: Dragon God Apostle. Level: LV25. Strength: 294. Agility: 260. Constitution: 118. Spirit: 116. Intelligence: 128. Talent: True Dragon Bloodline. As a descendant of the dragon, you can activate the incarnation of the Dragon God after collecting 9 dragon crystals. Special skill: Incarnation of Dragon God. Temporarily incarnate into the Dragon God. All attributes are increased by 100%, and skills are replaced with Dragon God exclusive skills, lasting for 5 minutes, and the cooldown time is 48 hours. After awakening the Dragon God Apostle, for Yi Zan, it is not just his personal strength that has become stronger. The most important thing is that in the Dragon Empire, people's worship of the dragon profession is unparalleled. Every dragon professional has grown into a legendary powerhouse, the backbone of the human world. But after the emperor disappeared and the Yi family was exterminated, the Dragon Empire did not have a single dragon professional. This has to be said to be a great irony. Yi Zan is the only dragon-type professional in the entire Shenlong Empire. In addition, his identity as the young master of the Yi family will have a strong appeal. At least for the old members of the Yi family, this is the case. After the Yi family was wiped out, the Origin Guild was also destroyed. But it is impossible to kill all the hundreds of thousands of professionals under the Origin Guild. Most of them were incorporated into the military. The others were divided into many small and medium-sized guilds. Now that Yi Zan has awakened the Dragon God Apostle, Xiaojiu has been secretly contacting those old members of the Yi family. After hearing that the young master of the Yi family is still there and has awakened the Dragon God Apostle, an SS-level dragon-type profession, those old members of the Yi family chose to be loyal in secret. Now, several powerful guilds have gathered around Yi Zan. There are even several senior military officers. The dawn of revenge has appeared. Uncle Xie, how can I save my sister? Yi Zan turned around and looked at Xiaojiu with a firm gaze. This is the only relative I have, and my current strength is enough to save her. Now, there is a godsend opportunity. When the Yi family was wiped out, Yi Zan was not the only survivor. There was another person who survived. That was Yi Busho's daughter, Yi Zan's sister, Yi Li. When the Yi family was wiped out, Yi Li had just turned 1 month old and knew nothing. Originally, the Qin family was going to kill the baby, but Qinming discovered that the baby girl had a strange connection with the Yi family's Long Snake Palace Tianqi final chapter. So Qinming spared the baby girl's life and adopted her, naming her Qin Li. She became the eldest daughter of the Qin family. Only a few people knew about this. It was only after a long investigation that Yi Zan discovered that his biological sister was actually adopted by the Qin family. When Yi Zan learned of this news, he was extremely painful. His sister actually recognized the thief as her father. But Yi Zan also knew that this had nothing to do with his sister. After all, she was just a baby at the time. But after Yi Zan learned of Yi Li's whereabouts, he always wanted to rescue Yi Li and save his sister from the Qin family. He knew that although his sister was now Qinming's adopted daughter, she seemed to have a superior status. But in fact, with Qinming's cruelty and ruthlessness, how could he really have feelings for the daughter of the Yi family? But before, Yi Li had always lived in the Qin family in the imperial capital. Yi Zan had no way to get close. But this time, he was sure that Yi Li would go to the Broken Kingdom dungeon. This was a godsend opportunity. Yi Zan said to Xiaojiu seriously. This time, the Broken Kingdom dungeon is open, and professionals below level 40 will basically go to participate. Xiao Li should also go. I plan to recognize Xiao Li and tell her all the truth. Xiaojiu frowned slightly when he heard this, but master, it's still too dangerous for you to recognize the young lady now. There should be a Qin family strongman around the young lady. And we only have 8 dragon crystals now. No, it's 9. Yi Zan smiled slightly, and the dragon crystal dropped by the Tyrannosaurus Hog suddenly appeared in his hand. Uncle Xie, now I can awaken the skill of becoming a dragon god. How could it be? Xie Jiyu was stunned, with a look of surprise and joy on his face. Ever since Yizan awakened the Dragon God Apostle, he has been running around to collect dragon crystals for Yizan. In addition to the forces that have already surrendered to Yizan, they have only collected 8 dragon crystals in total. Dragon crystals are in short supply. For these 8 dragon crystals, the old members of the Yi family almost used up all their resources to collect these dragon crystals from various channels. There are no dragon crystals on the market now. The old members of the Yi family estimated that it would take at least a year to collect another piece of dragon crystal. Unexpectedly, Yizan actually took out a dragon crystal directly. Seeing the shock on Xie Gu's face, Yizan couldn't help but sigh. He didn't expect that saving people would actually explode a dragon crystal. Although Yizan was carrying a blood feud for the extermination of his family, he did not grow up to be extreme and gloomy. Instead, he is gentle and resolute, hates evil and is kind-hearted. But this is the reward of kindness. Yizan has always believed in one thing. That is, the benevolent are invincible. Although the Qin family is now powerful, they are perverse and only know how to oppress the weak and profit. Yizan firmly believes that the end of the Qin family will only be destruction. Seeing that Yizan already has 9 dragon crystals, Xie Jiyu is slightly relieved. He knows how buggy the skill of incarnation of Dragon God is. Although Yizan is only level 25 now, after activating the incarnation of Dragon God, he can have a combat power comparable to level 50. Although it lasts only 5 minutes, it is enough for Yizan to protect himself. And although Yizan is not very old, he is meticulous and acts after careful planning. He has the style of a family head. Uncle Xie, then you continue to contact my Yi family, and I will go to the Broken Heaven to save Lear. Okay, young master, be careful. The two talked about some details again, and Xie Jiyu turned and left in a hurry. Looking at Xie Gu's back, a trace of gratitude flashed in Yizan's eyes. Xie Jiyu not only saved him, but also raised him up over the years, and he ran around for him to revitalize the Yi family, without a moment's rest. Yizan secretly swore in his heart that after he revitalized the Yi family, he must repay Uncle Xie well. Empire, Hengzhong area. The Hengzhong area is located at the junction of Tian province and Zhongnan province, with various mountains and dangerous plains. In the depths of the Hengzhong area, a huge portal soared into the sky. This portal is thousands of meters high, and the end cannot be seen at a glance. Strange runes are all over the portal. Inside the portal is a huge vortex, starry and dreamy. Faintly, you can see a broken paradise in the portal. Broken heaven. Qin Xian's eyes were low, and he murmured in a low voice. He stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the countless professionals gathered around the portal like mountains and seas. His eyes were deep, and I don't know what he was thinking. The appearance of the Broken Kingdom this time attracted almost all the professionals from level 15 to 40 in the Empire who were very confident in their own strength. After all, the benefits of this large special copy of the Broken Kingdom are extremely high. If you can pass the level, you can basically upgrade several levels, and the equipment you get can be graduated directly, or even be used as an heirloom, and one piece of equipment can be passed down for 3 generations. The most important thing is the clearance reward of the Broken Kingdom. The Broken Kingdom is a large special copy that can be entered by a team of 25 people to challenge and crusade. It is said that after passing the Broken Kingdom, you can see the ancient gods of heaven, and these ancient gods will judge the performance of the copy. If you can pass the level and perform outstandingly, you can get the blessing of the ancient gods. The blessing of the ancient gods is a permanent buff, which is enough to make any professional soar. Every time the Broken Kingdom appears, it will create countless strong masters, many of whom have become the mainstay of the human race today, and well-known strong men. Zhang Chen, the current military giant and the commander of the Aurora Corps, was only a B-level blood warrior 20 years ago. He cleared the Broken Kingdom 20 years ago and was considered a perfect performance by the ancient gods. He was given a blessing buff that increased his main attribute by 30%, all skill levels by 10 levels, all equipment attributes by 30%, and experience points by 50%. As a result, Zhang Chen soared directly into the sky and grew step by step to become the current 65-level national deterrence-level strongman. Zhang Chen's deeds also inspired many low-level professionals below a level. They also dream of clearing the Broken Kingdom dungeon, getting the blessing of the ancient gods, and changing their fate. At a glance, there are probably hundreds of thousands of professionals at the dungeon entrance. Not only the young generation of major families came one after another, but also students from various universities and major guilds organized teams and arrived at the entrance of the Broken Kingdom dungeon. There are also many individual players who started to form groups on the spot. The newly opened Broken Heaven dungeon, Cum T.N. DPS 1-24. The Chosen Guild is temporarily recruiting people to conquer the Broken Heaven, professionals above level 30. At least combat professions above level B. Strong DPS are waiting online for T.N. and even more powerful DPS ++++++++. Third-year students of Beihei Academy, gather, conquer the Broken Heaven. Although there are still 3 days before the opening of the Broken Heaven, the professionals have already started to form teams. For a while, the entire Hengjiang area has become somewhat chaotic and turbulent. A group of young people with proud looks appeared in the Hengjiang area. Their equipment is extremely luxurious and their aura is terrifying. Compared with other professionals, they seem to be the high-ranking Tianlong people. Students of the Imperial Capital Academy, gather. As soon as these words came out, the faces of the people around changed one after another, and they all showed awe and hurriedly avoided. The Imperial Capital Academy is the first academy in the Empire. Students who graduated from the Imperial Capital Academy can basically enter various departments of the Empire and become the backbone, and their future achievements will not be low. More importantly, the Imperial Capital Academy is the aristocratic academy of the Empire. There are only 2 strong situations to enter the Imperial Capital Academy. One is that the talent is indeed extremely outstanding, at least S level. The other situation is that even if you are born in a noble family. Therefore, the students of the Imperial Capital Academy are basically rich or noble, with extraordinary backgrounds. Hearing that they are students of the Imperial Capital Academy, people from other guild academies pushed them away, fearing that they would contradict the people of the Imperial Capital Academy. There are also some newcomers who are born in infancy. Seeing that the students of the Imperial Capital Academy are so arrogant, they look indignant and want to refute. But others hold them back. They are from the Imperial Academy. What's wrong with the Imperial Academy? The Imperial Academy's people are all from aristocratic families. Their elders are either heads of ministries or military generals. Can you afford to offend them? The newcomers were still a little dissatisfied when they heard this, but they also lowered their heads. And the members of the guilds were even more tactful and kept away from them. They knew that the students of the Imperial Academy were not to be offended. Their fathers were all in a high position. If they were offended, they could suffer a catastrophic disaster with just a word. This is the reality. A student of the Imperial Academy was arrogant and looked extremely arrogant. His name was Li Yang. He was the young master of the Imperial Li family and also a junior student of the Imperial Academy. A 22nd level A-level flame mage, his strength in the Imperial Academy was pretty good. His father was the deputy minister of the Imperial Military Affairs Department. He was also a powerful person and could barely be called a big shot. This time when the Broken Heaven appeared, Li Yang also led a group of fellow students from the Imperial Capital Academy to the Hengjiang area. The people from the Imperial Capital Academy are too arrogant. A cold snort sounded, and everyone looked in the direction of the sound, only to see a group of young professionals with extraordinary demeanor arriving in the Hengjiang area. The eyes looking at Li Yang and others were full of dissatisfaction and hostility. It's the people from the Jixia Academy. Someone recognized the origins of these people, his expression changed slightly, and he quietly left this place. There are thousands of Imperial Academies, and the 3 most powerful ones are the Imperial Capital Academy, Jixia Academy, and True Dragon Academy. These 3 academies are outstanding in the research of the Apocalypse system, and their strength and foundation are also extremely terrifying. The students of these 3 academies are all the pride of heaven. Compared with the rather low-key and mysterious True Dragon Academy, the relationship between the Imperial Capital Academy and the Jixia Academy is not very harmonious. Or, in other words, there is an old grudge. Every 4 years, all the schools in the Empire will jointly open a large trial copy, Apocalypse Arena. All students can participate in this large trial copy, and the one who laughs last can get extremely generous rewards. Last time, Apocalypse Arena, a genius student from Jixia Academy was killed by someone from Imperial Capital Academy. And it was quite dishonorable means. The impact at that time was huge, and the head of Jixia Academy was extremely angry. He personally went to the Imperial Capital and insisted that the Imperial Capital Academy give an explanation. The high-level officials of the two universities were on the verge of a direct war. In the end, under the mediation of the Imperial Parliament, the Imperial Capital Academy dealt with the murderer, ordered to suspend school for 1 year for reflection. Jixia Academy was naturally very dissatisfied with this treatment. What kind of punishment is this? Jixia Academy knew very well that the Imperial Parliament was protecting the Imperial Capital Academy. Most of the students of the Imperial Capital Academy come from aristocratic families, and many resources of the Empire are also tilted towards the Imperial Capital Academy. How could the Imperial Parliament, which is controlled by aristocratic families, be fair and deal with such a son as the Imperial Capital Academy? But since the Imperial Parliament has decided, Jixia Academy has no choice but to swallow its anger. But the relationship between the two universities has also reached a freezing point. So the students of Jixia Academy naturally dislike the people of the Imperial Capital Academy. But for others, although Jixia Academy suffered a loss, it is still one of the 3 major universities, and it is a behemoth that cannot be provoked by them. Seeing that the people of Jixia Academy and the people of the Imperial Capital Academy are arguing again. Naturally, everyone dared not wade into this muddy water. Hearing this, Li Yang was angry at first, and a cruel look appeared on his face. However, after he recognized the people from Jixia Academy, he sneered, "Who did I think it was?" It turned out to be people from Jixia Academy. "Why, are you in a hurry to die?" He stood with his hands behind his back, with an extremely arrogant look on his face. But he did have the capital to be proud. The Li family is also a member of the Imperial family. As the eldest son of the Li family in the Imperial capital, Li Yang's equipment is extremely luxurious. Although it is not level S equipment, it is also all level 20 purple equipment. Among professionals around level 20, his combat power is considered first class. Not to mention his identity and background, his father is the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Military Affairs, in charge of the treatment of retired soldiers and the quota of reserve forces. Others in the Li family also work in various departments of the empire. Li Yang stared at the people from Jixia Academy in front of him with a gloomy face, thinking about how to take action to drive these people from Jixia Academy out of the Hengjiang area. And there is also a young man in Jixia Academy with a bad look. He has a pretty face, bright eyes, and gives people a very determined feeling. His name is Xiaoming, a freshman at Jixia Academy, an S-level demon hunter. Demon hunter is a very magical profession. Although compared with other S-level professions, demon hunters are not outstanding in terms of talent or skills. But demon hunters have a characteristic that is very important to humans hunting the void. Demon hunters, all skills have a damage bonus of up to 500% against void monsters. And another characteristic of demon hunters, void smell, can keenly sense the breath of void monsters. It can be said that the profession of demon hunter is a special treasure for the void. So Jixia Academy attaches great importance to Xiaoming. Although Xiaoming has just taken the college entrance examination and is only about level 6, in order to allow Xiaoming to participate in the Broken Heaven Kingdom dungeon, after all, if he misses it, he doesn't know when the next time will be. It has a great impact on Xiaoming's future. So Jixia Academy directly gave Xiaoming a treasure. Level stamp temporarily increases your level by 10 levels, with unchanged attributes and skills, lasting for 120 hours, disposable. It is also because of the existence of the level stamp that Xiaoming's level has become 16, just enough to participate in the Broken Heaven dungeon. Although Xiaoming is only level 6, even if he has reached level 16 with the level stamp, his actual combat power is equivalent to about level 10 because his attribute skill level remains unchanged. Participating in a large special copy like the Broken Kingdom of Heaven, he is definitely a drag. But the seniors of Jixia Academy did not dislike Xiaoming for this. Instead, they were very happy to take Xiaoming with them. They all knew that after Xiaoming grows up, he will be of great significance to Jixia Academy and mankind. Xiaoming is also very grateful for this. Xiaoming looked at Li Yang coldly. although he was just a freshman at Jixia Academy and had just joined Jixia Academy. But the atmosphere of mutual help and friendship at Jixia Academy made Xiaoming very agree. This made Xiaoming, who was born an orphan, feel the warmth of home. He has already regarded himself as a member of Jixia Academy, sharing honor and disgrace. Naturally, he is very hostile to people from the Imperial Capital Academy. Especially Li Yang's arrogant look made Xiaoming particularly displeased. Xiaoming's eyes were low, and for the first time he felt his weakness and powerlessness. But he was full of confidence. Although he was still very weak, only level 6. But he could get stronger very quickly. The speed at which he got stronger would be beyond anyone's imagination. He could become stronger countless times in one Broken Heaven dungeon. In fact, there was a secret in Xiaoming. A secret that no one knew. He actually had a golden finger. When he awakened the demon hunter in the awakening ceremony, he also awakened a hidden special talent, God-killing growth. God-killing growth. After killing a void monster above the elite level, you can devour its spirit and randomly obtain 15 attribute points. 15 extra attributes. This special talent is extremely amazing. This means that in theory, Xiaoming's attribute points can grow infinitely, with no upper limit, as long as he kills enough void elite monsters. In extreme cases, Xiaoming can reach level 40 and 100 attribute points. If Xiaoming can grow to level 80, then his attribute points are really unimaginable. So Xiaoming didn't tell anyone about this hidden special talent of God-killing growth, only he knew it. However, the talent of God-killing growth requires hunting elite void monsters. And the void monsters are basically on the void front, and the elite void monsters are around level 40. It's still too early to hunt elite void monsters. But the appearance of the large-scale copy of Broken Heaven is different. The background of the Broken Heaven copy is the void invading the ancient royal court, so there are many void monsters in this copy. Among them, there are a large number of elite void monsters between levels 15 and 20. It can be said that this Broken Heaven copy is tailor-made for Xiaoming. His demon hunting itself increases the damage of void monsters by 500%. With God-killing growth, Xiaoming can continuously obtain additional attribute points in the Broken Heaven copy. According to Xiaoming's estimation, as long as he enters the Broken Kingdom dungeon, he can at least get thousands of extra attribute points. What is this concept? He can directly have attributes comparable to those of a 40th or even 50th level warrior at level 6. Just thinking about it, Xiaoming himself felt a little dizzy. And after clearing the Broken Kingdom, with his enhanced combat power, he can directly go to the void front to hunt elite void monsters, and he can continue to become stronger. Within 10 years, Xiaoming can grow into a super strong man in this world. Even a super existence that can surpass the founding emperor of the empire, Yingzhu. And all this, as long as he can enter the Broken Kingdom dungeon. Sometimes, Xiaoming himself can't help but doubt, is it really a destiny? After all, he just awakened God-killing growth and the Broken Heaven appeared, it was simply a pillow for sleep. But no matter what, the bright future is in front of him, he only needs to take a light step. Xiaoming couldn't help looking at the entrance of the Broken Heaven. He firmly believed that since God had given him such a heaven-defying golden finger, he had a great responsibility on his shoulders. After he became stronger, he would definitely destroy the void and create a future for the human world without the threat of the void. Li Yang narrowed his eyes slightly, and at this moment, he suddenly felt a terrifying pressure coming. Not only him, but everyone else felt it. Everyone looked over suddenly, and saw a handsome young man with noble temperament, surrounded by a group of strong men, slowly appearing. An old man in a suit and leather shoes next to the young man, with an indifferent look, was a 58-level strong man. The majesty just now emanated from this old man. Everyone was extremely shocked in their hearts. A 58-level strong man, this is rare. Everyone looked at the young man. What kind of identity is this person? Even his followers are 58-level strong men. After Li Yang saw the young man's face clearly, his face suddenly showed a nervous and odd look, and he didn't care about the people of Jixia Academy. He rushed over in one swift step, and before he even reached the young man, he had already bowed. Mr. Qin. Li Yang's appearance shocked everyone. Just now, Li Yang was so arrogant and domineering. Even when facing people from Jixia Academy, he still looked superior. But now, in front of that young man, he was so humble. Such a huge change in attitude was really shocking. Young Master Qin, it's rare to be that person. This young man was naturally Qin Xian. Qin Xian looked at Li Yang, who bowed in front of him, and smiled gently. It turned out to be Senior Li. He is now a sophomore student at the Imperial Academy, and Li Yang is 1 year older than him and is a junior student. He is considered his senior. Hearing Qin Xian's greeting, Li Yang showed a flattered look on his face, and hurriedly said, I don't dare to be. Young Master Qin is the #1 genius in my human world, how dare I be the title of senior? He showed a happy look on his face. Young Master Qin recognized me. He even greeted me. Although the imperial capital Li family is also a noble family, it is a far cry from the Qin family. Although his father is the deputy minister of the Military Affairs Department, there are a total of 7 deputy ministers in the Military Affairs Department, and his father is just a deputy minister ranked in the middle. And the Military Affairs Department is just one of the many departments under the Cardinal Court. A few days ago, his father was praised by Xiaoming, the ruling of the Cardinal Court, for some things, and he was very excited. As a result, his status in the Military Affairs Department has also been improved a lot. If he can curry favor with Qin Xian, the entire Li family may be able to move to a higher level. However, although Qin Xian is an Imperial Academy, he is usually elusive. Moreover, the Li family is just a second-rate family. If they want to curry favor with Qin Xian, they don't have the opportunity and qualifications. Not only Li Yang, but other students from the Imperial Academy also stepped forward and bowed. After all, they are all from noble families, so they naturally know the power relationship. After finding out Qin Xian's identity, everyone was shocked and looked at Qin Xian. Qin Xian, this name is well known in the empire. And Li Yang just said that Qin Xian is the first genius in the human world, and this sentence is not entirely a compliment. Qin Xian awakened the SSS-level Oracle Knight, which made a sensation in the country last year. Everyone knows that there is another SSS-level professional in the human world. Since the advent of the apocalypse, there have been no more than 10 SSS-level professionals in the human world for thousands of years. The last time an SSS-level professional appeared in the empire was more than 100 years ago. In addition, Qin Xian's background is that he is the eldest son of the Qin family in the imperial capital and the heir of Qinming, one of the 5 legendary powerhouses in the empire. Whether it is talent, strength, or background, Qin Xian is the pinnacle of this world. Even his face is. Many male professionals looked at Qin Xian's face and felt a little sour in their hearts. There really is a perfect life in this world. Many female professionals are flirting with Qin Xian. In their eyes, Qin Xian is undoubtedly their Prince Charming. If Qin Xian has any shortcomings, it is that he is too perfect. It is so perfect that it feels unreal. The people from Jixia Academy looked at Qin Xian with a complicated expression. Although Qin Xian is only in the 2nd year of awakening, he is already level 21, and with his combat power, he is probably at least 30 plus. Although they don't like people from the Imperial Academy. But they have to admit that Qin Xian is really strong. Xiaoming frowned and stared at Qin Xian. For some reason, from the moment Qin Xian appeared, he felt very uncomfortable. He has hostility towards Qin Xian from the depths of his soul. Dead enemy. Natural enemy. It was obviously the first time he and Qin Xian met. And Xiaoming's demon hunter's void smell was also directly activated, locking Qin Xian. Void smell can keenly sense the breath of void monsters. Any existence related to the void cannot escape the perception of void smell. But Qin Xian is obviously an SSS-level Oracle Knight, how can he be related to the void? Xiaoming was also a little confused, but soon he found a problem. That is, everyone knows that Qin Xian is an SSS-level Oracle Knight, but it seems that many people have forgotten that Qin Xian is actually a dual professional. But until now, no one knows what Qin Xian's second profession is. Could it be that Qin Xian's second profession is related to the void? Although this conjecture is very bold, even a little absurd. After all, apart from the void believers, there is no human profession related to the void. But the instinct and intuition of the demon hunter made Xiaoming begin to doubt and be wary of Qin Xian. Chapter 51. Xiaoming chose to believe his intuition. However, Xiaoming was not stupid enough to question Qin Xian directly. After all this was just his intuition. There was no evidence. Qin family. Xiaoming's eyes were low, and he made up his mind that after he cleared the dungeon of Shattered Heaven this time, he would quickly become stronger and investigate this Qin Xian. If Qin Xian was really related to the Void, then the Qin family behind him. Was it also colluding with the Void? If so, what would be the consequences of the Empire's ruling Qinming colluding with the Void? Xiaoming didn't dare to think about it. While Xiaoming was thinking about Qin Xian was also paying attention to Xiaoming. Because he had just arrived here, he suddenly heard the system's prompt. Villain system activated. The second stage main task started. Task: eliminate Xiaoming's threat. Task completion reward: villain value 100 points. Although Xiaoming hid all his skills and attributes, his name panel and occupation were not hidden. So Qin Xian immediately confirmed Xiaoming's identity. The second son of luck. Qin Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. After killing the first son of luck, Lin Feng, Qin Xian gained a lot. Not only did he get the secret source, but he also got an extra 30 villain points, which has upgraded the villain level by 1 level and obtained a talent reborn from the ashes. Qin Xian is very eager for villain points. Unexpectedly, the second son of luck has appeared now. And the reward provided is as much as 100 points. It is more than 3 times that of Lin Feng. Single quote. Could it be that there is something unusual about this in Xiaoming? While Qin Xian was thinking, suddenly, the earth in the entire Hengjiang area began to shake. Immediately afterwards, the portal of the Broken Kingdom of Heaven suddenly glowed with a large amount of purple light. The fog began to rise, covering the entire Hengshan area, and the visibility was directly reduced to within 50 meters. The space began to break, and countless strange and terrifying void monsters appeared from the space cracks, and the roar of void monsters was everywhere. Void invasion. Everyone was shocked, and some people couldn't help but scream. But more people looked calm. It's not a void invasion, it's a prequel mission to the Broken Kingdom. Someone shouted to maintain order. Soon, the prompt of the Apocalypse system rang in the ears of all the professionals in the Hengjiang area. Apocalypse system large special copy. The prequel mission of the Broken Kingdom is released. The ancient royal court, once a brilliant and powerful civilization in the universe, flourished for thousands of years, and this brilliant pearl suffered from the decay and erosion of the void. Now, countless void monsters have appeared outside the ruins of the ancient royal court. Kill them and obtain their crystal cores. After the crystal core collection reaches 50W, the Broken Kingdom copy is opened. Duration of the mission: 3 days. Seeing the prompt of the Apocalypse system, everyone was relieved. It was not a void invasion. It can only be said that humans are too sensitive to the void. Anything related to the void will arouse human vigilance. Some people who knew about the Broken Kingdom dungeon shouted, "Team up to kill the void monsters." The more crystal cores you collect, the more buffs you will get when you enter the Broken Kingdom dungeon. Everyone heard this and formed teams to disperse and began to hunt the void monsters. For a moment, the entire Hengjiang area became a giant battlefield. Beside Qin Xian, the students of the Imperial Capital Academy said goodbye to Qin Xian and disappeared into the mist to hunt the void monsters. But Li Yang's eyes flashed and he stayed quietly. He would not miss any opportunity to curry favor with Qin Xian. Seeing the void monsters appear, Xiaoming looked happy. Although most of the void monsters that appeared in this prequel mission were ordinary monsters, there were also a few elites. If he could hunt those elites, he could also get extra attribute points immediately. The people of Jixia Academy looked at each other and prepared to leave, no longer entangled with the Imperial Capital Academy. In any case, their goal was still the Broken Kingdom dungeon, and they didn't want to cause trouble. Seeing that the people from Jixia Academy were about to leave, especially Xiaoming was about to disappear, Qin Xian's eyes flashed with coldness, and suddenly said lightly, "Kill them." Chu Bo and the other Qin family masters heard this. Without any hesitation, they attacked directly. Even if they wanted to kill people from Jixia Academy. But for them, Qin Xian's words were an imperial decree. Let alone killing people from Jixia Academy, even if they killed people from the regent government, they would not frown. All kinds of terrifying skills, directly killing people from Jixia Academy. Chu Bo is a level 58 master, and the other Qin family masters are all above level 40. When they took action, Jixia Academy suffered heavy losses and many people were killed and injured. The people of Jixia Academy never expected Qin Xian to attack. Jixia Academy and Imperial Capital Academy had a feud, but it was not a life and death feud. For these students, they just disliked each other. As a result, Qin Xian attacked directly after a disagreement. They didn't even provoke Qin Xian. Under the attack of Chu Bo and other Qin family masters, in just a dozen seconds, more than 20 students of Jixia Academy were killed and only 3 or 4 were left. Qin Xian, what are you doing? Are you crazy? The surviving students of Jixia Academy were shocked and angry, looking at Qin Xian in disbelief. It was as if they were looking at a madman. And in their hearts, Qin Xian was indeed a madman. A complete madman. They were students of Jixia Academy. Jixia Academy was one of the 3 major academies. The current master, Sha Qiancheng, was a level 79 strongman, only 1 step away from the legendary level. Most of the graduates of Jixia Academy are high-level backbones of various departments of the empire, various military corps and some large guilds. As a result, Qin Xian actually ordered the killing of students of Jixia Academy. No matter how powerful the Qin family is, Jixia Academy will never tolerate this breath and will definitely ask the Qin family for an explanation. Li Yong was also stunned, with a look of shock on his face. Even if he had great malice towards Jixia Academy, he just wanted to drive away the people of Jixia Academy. And Qin Xian directly killed people. However, Li Yong was just shocked. Since Qin Xian had taken action, Li Yong also took action and killed a student of Jixia Academy with a sneer on his face. Maybe he can get Qin Xian's favor and respect. Become Qin Xian's follower. Li Yang's combat power is not low. He immediately forced a student of Jixia Academy into a desperate situation and disappeared into the mist. Looking at the corpses on the ground, Qin Xian had a blank expression on his face. He always did things like this. If necessary, he would not look back and forth, and would take action when it was time to take action. Xiaoming was from Jixia Academy, but the more this was the case, the more he had to take action directly. If he missed this opportunity, Xiaoming would return to Jixia Academy, which would be really difficult to deal with. Now Xiaoming was right in front of him, and he was still in the wild. Qin Xian made a prompt decision and chose to take action directly. Kill him first. As for the consequences, Qin Xian's eyes were low, and he killed all the people in Jixia Academy. No one knew that he did it, so there would be no consequences. Xiaoming was trembling all over, and his face was pale. He never thought that things would develop to this extent. Just now, he was thinking about entering the broken kingdom of heaven copy, and he could quickly become stronger, and he only needed an opportunity. As a result, now, all his seniors died. He also had to face death. Looking at the corpses on the ground, Xiaoming's heart was full of pain and anger. But in addition to anger, Xiaoming's heart was more afraid. Could it be that he was going to die here? Xiaoming suddenly felt a sense of unreality. Death was still a very distant word for him. Although Xiaoming was an orphan, he had always been smooth sailing. He was bullied by a demon in high school, but he turned the tables and slapped his face. Then he was favored by several school beauties. In the college entrance examination, he awakened such a heaven-defying talent and career, and was valued by Jixia Academy. He was simply the protagonist of a cool story. As a result, he was going to die before it even started. Which protagonist of a cool story died at the beginning? Xiaoming looked at the expressionless Qin Xian, and felt cold all over his body. He couldn't help but tremble violently. Of course he didn't want to die. But Xiaoming was also very confused. Why did Qin Xian kill people directly? No one in Jixia Academy had any conflict with Qin Xian. As a result, Qin Xian killed people directly. There was no reason or sign, just like a perverted killer. This was what made Xiaoming most depressed. It was like he won a 100 million lottery jackpot, and his life was about to soar to the sky, but when he went to claim the prize, he was hit by a car and died as soon as he went out. Who can he go to for justice? Xiaoming just stood there. His real combat power was only level 6, and under the threat of Chu Bo's level 58 aura, he couldn't even move. He could only pray now that a super strong man would appear, see injustice, draw his sword to help, and save him from the Qin family. Isn't the plot of Shuangwen like this? But what made Xiaoming desperate was, now the entire Hengjiang area is fighting everywhere, and it is blocked by fog, and no one comes at all. Looking at the desperate Xiaoming, Qin Xian's eyes flashed with a strange color, and he directly opened his second profession, the Lord of the Void. Void devouring. Mark an area, all targets in the area will be marked, and after the marked target dies, you will have a chance to randomly get the target's skills and talents. Qin Xian used Void devouring to mark Xiaoming. Xiaoming, the son of destiny, might have some golden fingers. Looking at Qin Xian in the state of the Lord of the Void, Xiaoming's eyes widened. He finally understood why he instinctively hated Qin Xian. Originally, Qin Xian was not only related to the Void. His second profession was a Void profession. But just as Xiaoming was about to say something, Qin Xian directly stretched out his hand and pointed, and the Void fire appeared out of thin air and directly swallowed Xiaoming. Xiaoming screamed in pain, full of despair and unwillingness. He was so unwilling. His awakened profession and talent were so amazing. It was a golden finger given to him by God, but it ended before it even started. He only needed to pass the Broken Heaven Kingdom copy, and everything would be different when he came out. He could soar to the sky, he could become the strongest human being, and even create history. He only needed a chance. But Qin Xian didn't even give him a chance. Soon, Xiaoming was completely swallowed by the Void fire, not even a slag was left. As Xiaoming died, the panel of the villain system also appeared in Qin Xian's mind. Complete the first main task. Eliminate Xiaoming's threat 1/1, get reward, 100 villain points. Current villain level, 3. Current experience value, 3150ths. Additional attribute points that can be allocated, 100. Get additional talent, Charming Eye, charm the target and make it your slave. If the target's spirit value is above 300 points, it may wake up early. The duration is 3 hours and the cooling time is 24 hours. This skill can be upgraded. Qin Xian frowned slightly. This Charming Eye is not too strong. However, this is also a randomly obtained talent. And maybe, this Charming Eye, in certain specific occasions, will have a miraculous effect. Besides, this Charming Eye can be upgraded. What Qin Xian cares about is the talent skill that he took from Xiaoming through the skill of Void devouring. In his talent column, there is another talent. God-killing growth. After killing a Void monster above the elite level, you can devour its spirit and randomly obtain 15 attribute points. Seeing this talent, even Qin Xian couldn't help but take a breath. This talent is so terrifying. This unlimited growth talent is equivalent to an invincible existence. Qin Xian's eyes flashed with a strange color. If he let Xiaoming go today, then when Xiaoming cleared the Broken Heaven Kingdom copy, I'm afraid his attributes would take off directly. Then it would be a soaring momentum, unstoppable. At that time, if you want to deal with him again, it will cost a huge price. However, Xiaoming was really unlucky to meet Qin Xian. If it were someone else, I'm afraid they would be afraid of the Jixia Academy and it would be impossible to kill them all. And Qin Xian directly took action without giving Xiaoming the slightest chance. Qin Xian smiled. This talent was perfect for him. It was just a Void elite monster. With the power of the Qin family, they could collect various Void copies for Qin Xian. They could even order several legions to practice with Qin Xian. Qin Xian put away the Void Lord form, but at the moment he put away the Void Lord, Li Yang came back. Mr. Qin, that man has been killed by me. Li Yang's words suddenly stopped, and the smile on his face seemed to be frozen, and his face showed an extremely terrifying look. Although Qin Xian has now recovered his first profession, the Oracle Knight. But if he is not mistaken, the Void breath on Qin Xian just now is obviously a Void profession. Qin Xian is the Void Lord. Li Yang's face turned pale with fear, but he is a smart man after all, and his expression immediately returned to normal, pretending to know nothing. He forced a smile on his face. The people of Jixia Academy are really waste, but Mr. Qin, don't worry, I will keep this matter secret, after all, I also killed him, hee. But he soon stopped laughing. Because Qin Xian and the other Qin family masters all looked at him quietly, expressionless, as if they were looking at a dead person. The atmosphere was so depressing, Li Yang was filled with fear. Did you see it? Qin Xian suddenly smiled and looked at Li Yong with a smile. Li Yong could no longer bear such great pressure and knelt down with a plop. Mr. Qin, I swear, I will never tell anyone. I can sign the soul contract scroll. Mr. Qin, please let me go. Li Yong knelt on the ground, crying and crying, very miserable. He really didn't want to die. He was the eldest son of the Li family. He was destined to be a superior person in this life. He had countless wealth and beauties waiting for him to enjoy. He was really afraid of death. Qin Xian looked at Li Yong kneeling on the ground and sighed. Senior Li, you are a smart man. If it weren't for this incident, we could have become friends. Hearing this, Li Yong was filled with extreme regret. If he had known this, he would not have stayed with Qin Xian, or he would have come back later. Mr. Qin, I swear I will never tell anyone. Looking at Li Yong crying miserably, Qin Xian sighed, only the dead can keep secrets, right? Qin Xian nodded to Chu Bo on the side. Chu Bo had no expression on his face, and he directly attacked and killed Li Yong with one palm. From beginning to end, Li Yong was kneeling on the ground, not to mention resistance, he didn't even have the idea of escaping. Looking at Li Yang's body, Qin Xian shook his head. In fact, Li Yong is a talent. Although he has the arrogance of the children of aristocratic families, he is a smart man. But unfortunately he saw something he shouldn't have seen. How could Qin Xian let him go? Even if Li Yong is the young master of the Li family in the imperial capital, he must die. Qin Xian looked at the bodies of Jixia Academy students and smiled slightly. If these people die, Jixia Academy will definitely go crazy. Chu Bo, let the Transportation Bureau close all the teleportation arrays in Tianlu province. Otherwise, people from Jixia Academy will rush here and make a scene, which will be troublesome. Everything will be dealt with after I clear the Broken Heaven Kingdom dungeon. Empire, Jixia Academy. Jixia Academy is located in Tianlu City, the capital of Tianlu province in the empire. As one of the three major universities in the empire, Jixia Academy is naturally the top existence in the human world in all aspects. The academy covers an area of hundreds of thousands of acres and has 10 colleges. Each college is a leader in its own field. As the base of Jixia Academy has a profound influence on Tianlu province. Many key department heads in Tianlu province are from Jixia Academy. Inside Jixia Academy, there is a solemn and majestic atmosphere. Although the building is not so luxurious and spectacular, a heavy sense of history is overwhelming. It is enough to make any student feel awed. Who killed the students of my Jixia Academy? A voice that was extremely angry exploded in the sky of Jixia Academy like thunder. In the academic affairs department, a middle-aged man with a simple appearance had an angry look on his face. His aura was extremely terrifying, and he was a 59-level strong man. It was Mo Chongshan, the vice president of the Demon Hunting Academy, one of the top 10 students of Jixia Academy. Just now, in the academic affairs system of Jixia Academy, the information of more than 20 students suddenly turned gray. This means that these more than 20 students are dead. They lost their life characteristics, so they turned gray in the academic affairs system. These more than 20 students are all outstanding sophomores and juniors of Jixia Academy, but they died just like that. And among them is a freshman named Xiaoming, who is the most valued genius of Jixia Academy. He was prepared to be cultivated with all the strength of the academy. As a result, he died just less than a week after entering Jixia Academy. This is what Mo Chongshan is most worried about. He has already planned to accept Xiaoming as his disciple when he returns from the Broken Kingdom of Heaven. As a result, now, the entire Jixia Academy has been in turmoil. Obviously, because of this incident, the entire academy is extremely shocked. The fall of more than 20 geniuses is a tragedy that has never happened in the 1,000 years since the establishment of Jixia Academy. These students went to explore the Broken Kingdom of Heaven, and Jixia Academy did not send strong people to guard them. This is the tradition of Jixia Academy, or rather, all academies. After all, if you take care of everything, how can students be tempered? Otherwise, they will only be flowers in a greenhouse. The consequence is that although the level is not low, they will be in a mess and confused as soon as they enter the battle. If you can't even exert 1/10 of your combat power, you are a waste. Moreover, Jixia Academy is one of the 3 major academies in the empire. Under normal circumstances, no one dares to attack the students of Jixia Academy. The 4 words Jixia Academy are equivalent to a life-saving card. In fact, it is not uncommon for students to die. Jixia Academy does not interfere too much with its students. Some students go to dangerous areas and die unfortunately. Even if they fight and kill others, it is not uncommon. After all, this world is not a utopia, but full of dangers. Every year, many students of Jixia Academy die outside. But this time is different. More than 20 students of Jixia Academy were wiped out in Hengzhong area. It is obvious that someone is slaughtering the students of Jixia Academy. Suddenly, a terrifying breath suddenly descended. Mo Chongshan's expression was stern until the senior leaders of the academy arrived. I saw starlight everywhere, and a tall and majestic figure appeared. Among them, a white-haired old man stood with his hands behind his back. His eyes were vicissitudes, as if he had seen through all the worldly things in the world. Seeing this old man appear, Mo Chongshan looked odd and bowed. Master. This old man was the master of Jixia Academy, Sha Qiancheng. A level 79 expert, only one step away from the legendary level. Sha Qiancheng looked calm and whispered, "What happened?" Mo Chongshan did not hesitate and directly told the story of more than 20 students dying in the Hengzhong area. When the senior elders of many schools heard this, they all showed angry expressions on their faces. Who dared to kill people from my Jixia Academy? No matter who it is, we must investigate it to the end. Yes, otherwise, where is the dignity of my Jixia Academy? Sha Qiancheng's eyes were deep. He stood with his hands behind his back, and suddenly said, "Dean Mo, you personally lead people to the Hengzhong area and must find out the truth." Yes. Mo Chongshan nodded immediately, turned around and left with several elders, and went directly to the teleportation array, ready to go to the Hengzhong area. Empire, Hengzhong area, Sword of Judgment. Your sword energy is full of the power of judgment, causing 14,000 points of holy damage to all enemies within 50 meters of the target, and there is a 60% chance of causing a stun effect, with a cooldown of 1 second. Qin Xian is wearing armor, and the long sword in his hand is full of terrifying power. Every sword has a breath of destruction. This is the horror of SSS level professions. The skill of Sword of Judgment, in other professions, is a big move with a cooldown of at least 3 hours. But in Qin Xian, it is just an ordinary filling skill. One after another, the void monsters fell under Qin Xian's sword. Even those elite monsters could not resist Qin Xian for more than 3 seconds. God-killing growth. You hunted an elite void monster and gained 15 extra attribute points. God-killing growth. You hunted an elite void monster and gained 15 extra attribute points. God-killing growth. You hunted an elite void monster and gained 15 extra attribute points. In just a few hours, Qin Xian hunted 14 elite void monsters. Gave him 210 extra attribute points. And these 210 extra attribute points can also be added by the secret source. Even in the Oracle Night state, it has increased to 315 points. However, the only drawback is that these 315 extra attribute points are randomly allocated. But, what else do you want? If it was in the Broken Heaven dungeon, Qin Xian simply couldn't think about it. Gradually, the fog dissipated. The prequel mission of the Broken Heaven has been completed. The void monsters that appeared have basically been hunted down. Although this is a large-scale task, there are tens of thousands of void monsters, basically all of them are around level 25, and there are even many elite monsters. But don't forget that this Hengzhong area can gather hundreds of thousands of professionals. Too many monks, too little porridge. Ha ha ha, I killed 13 void monsters. Someone had an excited look on his face, and a buff appeared on his status bar. Power of the Crystal Core. Your main attribute is increased by 6%, and the recovery speed of health and magic points is increased by 13%. A middle-aged man with a scar on his face laughed. I have waited for 20 years, and finally waited for the Broken Heaven Kingdom copy. This time, I will definitely win the Broken Heaven Kingdom copy and become the first. He showed an extremely confident, even slightly arrogant look on his face. Power of the Crystal Core. Your main attribute is increased by 20%, and the recovery speed of health and magic points is increased by 40%. This means that this middle-aged man hunted 40 void monsters alone. The middle-aged man's name is Xiaoming, level 39, A-level Phoenix warrior. When everyone heard what Xiaoming said, they were all shocked. This Xiaoming had stuck his level at level 39 for 20 years, just to wait for the Broken Heaven dungeon. Xiaoming smiled. He was originally the president of a guild. For decades, he has been preparing for the Broken Heaven. In fact, with his profession, plus the support of the guild behind him, he could at least reach level 45. But he stuck his level at level 39. After much hardship, he collected a set of top-quality level 39 equipment and upgraded all the skills learned at level 30 to the highest level. He also got all the extra attribute points within his ability. It can be said that he is a top-quality level 39 stuck account. In the Broken Heaven dungeon with an entry level of 15 to 40, it is indeed the strongest group of combat power. Xiaoming had a resolute face. He knew very well that although his profession was not bad, it was not a rare S-level profession, and the upper limit was only more than level 40. At most, he is a city lord. But Xiaoming was not reconciled. He wanted to go further and climb higher. So he chose to stay at the level and wait for the Broken Kingdom of Heaven. With the blessing of the ancient gods of the Broken Kingdom of Heaven, he can break through the upper limit. This is a gamble. If the Broken Kingdom of Heaven has not appeared, maybe this life will be directly ruined. And this wait is 20 years. In the past 20 years, Xiaoming has been preparing all the time. He sold the guild's property and collected a set of level 39 top-quality equipment and skills. Finally, he waited for this moment. In fact, there are many people like Xiaoming. In a sense, the Broken Kingdom of Heaven copy is indeed the second college entrance examination in life. There is still a steady stream of professionals rushing towards the valley. The news that the students of Imperial Academy were wiped out has spread in Hangzhou area, including Li Yang, the eldest son of the Li family in the imperial capital. But not many people discussed it, because everyone is not a fool, knowing that there must be a lot of water in it, just ignore it. And no matter what the Imperial Academy is like, it doesn't care about its own business. The Broken Kingdom of Heaven is really about itself. The teleportation array in Hangzhou area keeps flashing. A beautiful girl appears, followed by a middle-aged beautiful woman with a stern demeanor. Brother. After the girl appeared, she immediately found Xian, rushed forward and threw herself into Xian's arms. This beautiful girl is naturally Xian's sister, Li. Li buried her head deeply in Xian's chest, breathing the breath of her brother almost greedily, with a look of relief on her face. Everyone around looked over here, with strange expressions. After all, Li's performance was beyond the scope of a sister's attitude towards her brother. But Li didn't care about other people's eyes. She only had Xian in her eyes. Xian also showed a smile from the heart. He stroked his sister's long hair and chuckled, "Lear, I haven't seen you for 2 months. You have become much stronger again." Li then raised his head, looked at Xian's handsome face, and said seriously, "I can help you now, brother." Xian smiled slightly and whispered, "You could have helped me a long time ago." The two separated and stood side by side. Standing next to Xian, Li's beautiful face was full of smiles, as if she was satisfied as long as she could stand with her brother. Li looked at Xian quietly, muttering in her heart, "Brother, no matter what you want, I will help you." In fact, Li's situation in the Qin family was quite embarrassing. Li actually knew that she was not Qin Ming's biological daughter, she was adopted. And she could also keenly perceive that her father Qin Ming did not love her. Or, Qin Ming did not love anyone except Xian. It was as if Qin Ming, a legendary strongman, put all his feelings on his only son Xian. As for Li, like everyone else, he was dispensable and could be abandoned at any time. And the other members of the Qin family were also polite to Li with alienation and indifference. Only Xian treated Li, his sister, sincerely. They grew up together. When Li was bullied by other children of the Qin family when she was a child, it was Xian who came forward to protect Li and made those children kneel on the ground to apologize. Until now, Li still remembers the scene of that year. A teenager looked at the adults in front of him with a smile and said lightly, "If you don't apologize, you will be removed from the Qin family fools and the Qin family genealogy tomorrow." I promise. Then, those adults pressed their children's heads and apologized and repented deeply to Qin Li. Since then, no one in the Qin family dared to bully Qin Li. This scene was deeply engraved in Qin Li's memory. Although Qin Ming didn't like Qin Li, he also gave Qin Li all the resources and treatment. So Qin Li and Qin Xian grew up together, almost inseparable, and the two siblings had a deep relationship. In fact, Qin Li had also thought about investigating her true identity and wanted to know who her biological parents were. But after Qin Xian knew it, he said to her seriously, "You just need to know that you are my sister, you don't need to know anything else." Then, Qin Li never thought about the past again. Because she was afraid, if she found out the truth. What if her brother didn't want her anymore? Hangzhong area, teleportation array. A bright light flashed, and a handsome young man walked out of the teleportation array. The people next to him couldn't help but look at the young man a few more times, because they felt a faint pressure from the young man. A pressure from the depths of the soul. Dragon professional. But soon everyone shook their heads and laughed. Since the emperor came, there has been no dragon professional in the Dragon Empire. How could there be a new dragon professional? If there is, I'm afraid it will be the most suitable heir to the throne of the emperor, right? Yi Zhan saw the strangeness of others and looked calm. Although he hid his professional panel, the pressure of the dragon professional could not be concealed. But fortunately, he could choose to hide his profession, and others could not be sure. At this time, the discussion of others came. This time there are many big figures. The eldest master and eldest lady of the Qin family are here. Be careful, if you provoke the Qin family, you really don't know how to die. Hearing the word Qin family, Yi Zhan's eyes suddenly became sharp. His eyes were like torches, and he immediately saw two young men and women surrounded by a group of powerful people with terrifying auras in the distance. Seeing the beautiful girl, Yi Zhan's heart trembled. His face showed extreme excitement. "Sister, I finally found you." Yi Zhan's eyes were filled with endless longing. Over the years, he has been missing his sister, his only relative in the world, all the time. But unfortunately, his sister was adopted by the Qin family and separated from him on both sides of the world. Let alone recognizing his sister, he couldn't even get close to her. Although they hadn't seen each other for 18 years, Yi Zhan's heart was full of trembling. He could feel the closeness deep in his blood. Even Yi Zhan wanted to rush to Qin Li now and tell her the truth. Then the brother and sister recognized each other and would never be separated again in this life. But reason still told Yi Zhan that it was not the right time yet. The Qin family masters around Qin Li were very powerful. If they knew that he was the orphan of the Yi family, they would definitely hunt him down. Now he has no ability to compete with the Qin family face to face. But when Yi Zhan saw his sister chatting and laughing with the young man next to him, his expression sank and his eyes were full of darkness. He looked at the young man. Qin Xian, the heir of the Qin family and the first genius of the empire. Yi Zhan just stood in the crowd, silently looking at the high-profile Qin Xian. His heart was full of hostility. The Qin family wiped out the Yi family, and he and everyone in the Qin family had an irreconcilable hatred. Qin Xian, the eldest son of the Qin family, he naturally hated him to the bone. If there hadn't been that accident, he would now be the heir of the Yi family, a son of a famous family in the empire, and he would enjoy a perfect life like Qin Xian. But now, he can only hide like a rat in the gutter. Standing in a dark corner, unknown. All this was caused by the Qin family. Especially seeing Qin Xian in such a glorious position, Yi Zhan felt unbalanced. Not to mention, Qin Xian had stolen his sister for so many years. Thinking of this, in addition to the hatred and hostility towards Qin Xian, Yi Zhan also felt a lot of jealousy. He was jealous that Qin Xian could occupy his sister for so many years in the name of a brother. Especially when he saw his sister Qin Li, the look in his eyes when he looked at Qin Xian was full of tenderness, intimacy, and admiration. It made Yi Zhan jealous and crazy. Qin Li's feelings should have been on him. He should have been Qin Li's support, not Qin Xian. Qin Xian stole his sister. Yi Zhan looked at Qin Li again, his eyes full of deep affection. And this hot look also attracted Qin Li's attention, so she couldn't help but turn her head and look at Yi Zhan. In this way, the brother and sister looked at each other for the first time in 18 years. Seeing Qin Li's eyes, Yi Zan was extremely excited. It's rare to say that Qin Li also felt the connection between him and him, the blood relationship. He looked at Qin Li with affectionate eyes, hoping that Qin Li could understand his meaning and mood. After all, they are blood-related brothers and sisters. But to his disappointment, Qin Li quickly looked away, without any fluctuations in his eyes. There was even a trace of disgust. What's wrong? Feeling his sister's strangeness, Qin Xian couldn't help but look at Qin Li and asked. Nothing, some annoying looks. Qin Li frowned slightly, seeming a little disgusted. The hot gaze just now made her very uncomfortable. She hated other people looking at her with such eyes. Unless it was her brother. In fact, Qin Li hated men. Or to put it more accurately, Qin Li hated all men except Qin Xian. Qin Xian smiled slightly and said lightly, "Sister, people like us are destined to be the center of attention and be watched by everyone. Don't care about the eyes of those ants." There was a trace of pride on his face, which came from his bones and the pride of his noble blood. Our Qin family is destined to be the top of the world. Looking at the expression on Qin Xian's face, Qin Li was full of admiration and fascination, and nodded, "I will be with you forever, brother." As for the young man who made her uncomfortable just now, she had already forgotten about him. But she also secretly thought that if she met that annoying person again, she would kill him. Seeing Qin Li quickly turned away his eyes, without any reaction to him. It was like looking at a stranger. There was a trace of disgust in his eyes. Yi Zan couldn't help but feel very hurt. But soon, he regained his calm, and he didn't blame Qin Li. After all, Qin Li didn't know the truth of the matter. To Qin Li, he was just a stranger, and naturally he couldn't feel his emotions all at once. Yi Zan took a deep breath and looked at the entrance of the Broken Heaven dungeon. Soon, the Broken Heaven will be opened. At that time, in the Broken Heaven dungeon, he will tell Qin Li all the truth. Qin Xian and Qin Li stood side by side, chatting while waiting for the Broken Heaven dungeon to open. Most of the time, Qin Li was talking and Qin Xian was listening. In fact, Qin Li was not a talkative person. In front of other people, Qin Li was always silent and even a little indifferent. But in front of Qin Xian, Qin Li seemed to have changed into a different person. It seemed that there were endless things to say. Aunt Mo, who was standing by, looked at the smile on the girl's face and couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Perhaps only in front of the young master would the young lady be so happy. She would really be like an 18-year-old girl. The teleportation array kept flashing, and a steady stream of professionals came. It is estimated that nearly 1 million professionals have gathered in the entire Hengzhong area. They all want to come to conquer the Broken Heavenly Kingdom copy. Many of them are geniuses from major families and major top guilds. At this time, a graceful figure appeared in the sky above the Hengzhong area. A beautiful woman appeared and immediately attracted everyone's attention. She had a beautiful face and delicate features, as if she came out of a painting. She was wearing a white long skirt, but it couldn't hide her graceful figure with a protruding front and a curved back. She had a very decent smile on her face, which perfectly met the etiquette of a lady from a noble family. Her aura was very strong. It seemed that she was born to be noble and out of this world. Everyone felt ashamed, as if getting close to this beauty was a blasphemy. Qin Xian looked at this beautiful girl from a distance, his expression slightly changed, and a solemn look appeared on his face. Obviously, he had recognized her identity and origin. Junior Qin, long time no see. The beautiful woman's eyes seemed to contain stars in the sky, and she walked towards Qin Xian with a smile. Qin Xian narrowed his eyes slightly, and a smile appeared on his face. Senior Chu. This beautiful woman is called Chu Juner. SS level rare professional Holy Hall Princess, level 31, is also the student union president of the Imperial Capital Academy, 2 years older than Qin Xian. In the first year of her awakening career, she was promoted to level 20, in the second year to level 27, and in the third year to the current level 31. At that time, she directly refreshed the upgrade record of the Imperial Capital Academy. Of course, this record has now been broken by Qin Xian. More importantly, Chu Juner's background is also extremely terrifying. She was born in the Chu family, and the Chu family is the top family in the empire. The current head of the Chu family, Chu Sishan, is one of the 5 legendary masters in the Empire, a level 85 God Blood Warlord. He has guarded Chengyuan for 300 years, making the Abyss demons dare not take a step. And Chu Juner is the granddaughter of Chu Sishan, and also his favorite descendant. In terms of identity and background, even if Chu Juner is not as good as Qin Xian, she is not much worse. Qin Xian and Chu Juner did not socialize too much in the Imperial Capital Academy, but they were quite afraid of each other. This Chu Juner is one of the few people who makes Qin Xian feel a little pressure. Of course, it is only a little pressure. President. Senior Sister Chu. Some children from the aristocratic families of the Imperial Capital Academy greeted him one after another. But Chu Juner ignored him and just looked at Qin Xian. At this moment, it seemed that only she and Qin Xian were left between heaven and earth. It seemed that in her eyes, only Qin Xian was qualified to talk to her, and they were from the same world. As for the others, they were all ants. Junior Qin, you have become stronger again. Chu Junei looked at Qin Xian carefully, her beautiful eyes flashed, and the smile on her face seemed to be brighter. She could feel that although Qin Xian's level had not increased in just a few days, he gave her the feeling that he was several times stronger than before. Qin Xian smiled but said nothing, and no one could tell what he was thinking behind his smile. Senior Chu came to see me, it shouldn't just be to tell me these things, right? Qin Li, who was standing aside, looked at Chu Junei, and a hint of hostility flashed in the depths of her eyes. She didn't like this Chu Junei. She didn't like it very much. For some reason, Qin Li felt a sense of crisis when she saw Chu Juner. It was as if this woman would snatch her brother away. She actually knew that Qin Xian had had many women, many of whom were just for fun, and some were female stars. But Qin Li didn't care, because she knew that those women were just her brother's playthings. In Qin Li's eyes, those women were not human, but toys. They couldn't even enter the Qin family's door. But Chu Juner was different. Whether Chu Juner's appearance or her talent and background, she was qualified to be the future mistress of the Qin family. Chu Juner smiled slightly, and her smile was so breathtaking and charming. Even Qin Li seemed to be a little eclipsed. In fact, in terms of appearance and facial features alone, Qin Li was no worse than Chu Juner, both were very perfect and exquisite. Chu Juner and Qin Li's temperaments were also noble ladies from aristocratic families, and they were noble and compelling. But compared with Chu Juner, Qin Li still had a hint of immaturity belonging to a girl. Chu Jun's temperament is more elegant and noble. Qin Xian, I just want to make a deal with you. Chu Jun's eyes were burning, staring at Qin Xian's handsome face, and she smiled softly. What deal? Chu Jun's hand waved directly, a scroll flashed, and a light curtain enveloped her and Qin Xian. Chu Bo narrowed his eyes and did not make a move. Because this scroll is a soundproof scroll, it can block and isolate the sound transmission from the outside world for 5 minutes. After the soundproofing, Chu Jun's smile said, Qin Xian, you should have heard of the Decayed Kingdom, right? Qin Xian nodded. The Decayed Kingdom is a dead place discovered by the human world. It is a dead country, eroded and decayed by a terrifying force. The whole continent is filled with the power of decay. Any creature that enters the Decayed Kingdom will be eroded by the decayed breath. The wealth of this corrupt country is amazing. There are many precious secret realms just in the periphery. If you are in the periphery, it is okay. You can rely on various equipment and props to resist the decay. But the closer you are to the king's city of the corrupt country, the stronger the decay. And in the king's city of the corrupt country, the decay can almost condense into substance. Once a level 69 strongman went to the king's city of the corrupt country, and was eventually corroded by the decay. Although he did not fall, he was tortured by the decay and was seriously injured. It took more than 10 years of recuperation before he recovered. But the serious injury of the level 69 warrior also led to the change of the structure of many guilds. My profession is the Holy Hall Princess. When I was level 30, I received a professional task that required me to go to the royal city of the Decayed Kingdom to obtain something. After clearing the broken kingdom of heaven, you will be blessed by the ancient gods. With the blessing buff, going to the royal city of the Decayed Kingdom within 1 month can protect us from the erosion of the decaying breath. So I would like to ask you, Qin Xian, to go to the decayed royal city with me after clearing the broken kingdom of heaven. If it were another man, Facing the request of a peerless beauty like Chu Junai, he would probably agree without hesitation. But Qin Xian was unmoved, his expression was very calm, and he just smiled and said, "Since it is a transaction, what can I get?" Seeing that Qin Xian did not agree directly, Chu Junai was not angry at all. On the contrary, there was a hint of appreciation. What she despised most was the kind of man who was dizzy for beauty and agreed to everything. A man like that is destined to be nothing. Alas, junior brother Qin Xian, you really stumped me. Chu Junai sighed. You are the eldest son of the Qin family. With the power and status of the Qin family, what else can make you excited? The Qin family in the imperial capital can be said to be the first family in the empire. It can even be said to be the most powerful and ancient family in the entire human world. What kind of treasures and props does the Qin family not have? Although Chu Junai was born extraordinary and had all kinds of treasures, Qin Xian would definitely not look down on them. Chu Junai looked at Qin Xian and said seriously, "As long as you help me complete the professional task, I can give you a promise. If you have any request in the future, as long as it does not harm the interests of the Chu family, I will agree to it unconditionally. Even if you want to deal with Lord Lu Ji, I will take action." If others heard this, they would be extremely shocked. Lu Ji, the regent of the empire, is a supreme existence in the hearts of the people of the empire. But Chu Junai didn't seem to have much respect for Lu Ji. This was quite similar to Qin Xian. Qin Xian narrowed his eyes slightly, as if considering Chu Junai's proposal. After a moment, he nodded slowly and smiled. Deal. After getting Qin Xian's response, Chu Junai showed a satisfied smile on her face. Unlike Qin Xian's position in the Qin family is unshakable and extremely stable. First, it is because Qin Xian is Qin Ming's only son. Second, Qin Xian's talent and strength are enough to suppress those cousins. So Qin Xian is the well-deserved heir of the Qin family. No one has the ability and courage to challenge Qin Xian's position. Chu Junai is different. As the eldest daughter of the Chu family, Chu Junai can actually use the resources of the Chu family to help her complete this professional task. But unfortunately, Chu Junai is the eldest daughter of the Chu family, but not the heir of the Chu family. The Chu family is a big family, and Chu Junai has many brothers. Although Chu Cixin likes Chu Junai, the legitimate granddaughter, very much, he even intends to make Chu Junai the heir of the Chu family. But Chu Junai's brothers are also capable. More importantly, they are ambitious. Always keeping an eye on Chu Junai's position. So this time, Chu Junai did not intend to use the power of the Chu family on the trip to the Decayed King City, but chose to cooperate with Qin Xian. After all, Qin Xian is very strong and will be a very useful helper. In that case, let's contact each other later. Chu Junai smiled at Qin Xian and said, "I wish you, Qin Xian, the highest level of blessing from the ancient gods." Then she glanced at Qin Li on the side. As if she saw the hostility in Qin Li's eyes, Chu Junai smiled at Qin Li, but did not say a word. Just like that, she left leisurely, leaving only a fragrant breeze. Qin Li's pretty face was cold, and she said nothing, but just moved closer to Qin Xian. Looking at Chu Junai's leaving back, Qin Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. The reason why he agreed to Chu Junai was because Chu Junai was indeed worth his effort. If I can influence the Chu family through Chu Junai. Soon, it was finally time to open the Broken Heavenly Kingdom dungeon. Large special dungeon, Broken Heavenly Kingdom. Entry level, level 15 to level 40. Team cap, 25 people. Number of boss, 7. Introduction. As the crystallization of the wisdom of the ancient gods, the ancient empire of Saint Nerman was once the greatest empire in ancient civilization. The territory of the Saint Nerman Empire is spread all over the universe. The gods bless its abundance. It means the land of stars and has hundreds of demigods. There are thousands of vassal races, which have been as bright as stars for tens of thousands of years. It is also called the Kingdom of Heaven. But the terrible void set its sights on this fertile land. The Saint Nerman Empire resisted fiercely for 300 years, and finally the entire territory fell and was swallowed by the void. Today, in the old land of the Broken Heavenly Kingdom, countless void monsters are still abusing, and those knights loyal to the empire have now become terrible void black knights. There is only killing and torture in my mind. The emperors of the ancient empire, their souls are still being tortured by the void, and the ancient gods have been trapped in the holy temple. Warriors, go to the broken heaven, destroy those terrible void monsters, and save the souls of the emperors. Let the light of the ancient gods bloom again in the broken heaven. Maybe one day, the broken heaven will revive again, and the Holy Nerman Empire will come to this world again and become the light of civilization. Qin Xian looked at the introduction of the Broken Heaven dungeon, and his face was slightly solemn. In this world of universal datization, most of the dungeons are those cold mechanical reincarnation spaces, and the monsters and bosses have no emotions. But large special dungeons are different. The monsters inside all have a certain amount of wisdom, and even the bosses are more dangerous and cunning. The final boss of the Broken Heaven, the Void Warlord Crocodile, a dangerous elite boss of level 40, has not been completely defeated by anyone so far. The ancient gods who finally descended were real gods. It's just that they were willing to be sealed in this dungeon by Apocalypse. And the Broken Kingdom dungeon is different from other dungeons. In other dungeons, each team enters a different plane. But in large special dungeons, all teams are in the same plane. But there is no need to worry about being too crowded, because the Broken Kingdom dungeon is extremely large, almost the size of a province of the Empire. After entering the dungeon, all teams will be teleported to various regions. This means that the dangers faced by teams entering the dungeon are not only the monsters in the dungeon, but also from other teams. Sometimes, the same kind is much scarier than monsters. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.